Good evening and welcome once again to the Whiskey Cowboy Live. Today's date is January 10th, 2014. Got to go back and change the date on the last show. I said that it was 10 there as well. It wasn't. It was the 7th. Didn't get a lead in on tonight's show because for some reason the streaming key was not working, so I tried to start it twice. Wasn't going out, had to restart again with a new streaming key, and I think that we are up and running now. So we're going to let folks, there we go, we're going to let folks join the show and get things started. This is not the way we want to start the show. So we'll just kind of wait for folks to mosey on in. Tonight's coffee is Blueberry Cobbler from New England brand. Usually I get the show started 5 minutes before, so folks get notification, and then they can actually make it to the show. It did not happen. Did not happen this time. Again, we are waiting for folks to show up. Been a warm day. We had a storm come in last night. Started out with snow. I shoveled the front walkway out to the road where the plow snow hit, but decided not to bother with the driveway and the rest. It turned to rain shy of midnight, and then got up this morning. Most all the snow was gone, to include most of what was there before this show. It's been warm today. I think it was 40s, up to 40, something like that. I had a migraine all day. Wonderful. That's what happens. That is what happens. Let's see here. Are there people? Are there people? Are there people? Where are you people? Hey, this isn't it. Get out of there. There we go. That's what we want. All right. Chat should be there. Let's do a test. And it went up, so we are fine. Okay. So we're still going to wait. We are going to wait for folks to show up. Okay, get out of there. I don't need that running at the same time. It is Wednesday, isn't it? Or is it the 11th? My watch says the 11th. Oh. I know what they did when they... I had a battery installed about a week ago. And they must have set the date to the wrong cycle. It's like, well, John, how come you couldn't put your own battery in? Well, normally I can, but this is a mighty fine watch, and there it is. And it needs a special tool on the back. It clamps on to untwist it, and I don't have that tool. Okay. There's still nobody here. I had a pot of coffee made because I go through a pot per show. Well, I actually go through 3 cups. I'd hate to see that go to waste. give folks a couple more minutes. Boy, I tell you. Yeah. Studio is hot tonight. Don't know why. Shouldn't be. We'll get this fan going. Hopefully that will cool things out, cool things off a little bit. Mm-hmm. And people are probably going to be going, hey, hey, he's not saying anything. So if you're listening to the show later on, it's like, well, why didn't you say anything? Well, yeah, I had some things planned, and I wanted an actual live audience available so that they could actually talk back. They could participate. They could give their views on issues. We should have somebody else looking in now. See who's joining us. I guess it's either Laurel or... yeah, it's Laurel. It's Laurel. Hey, Laurel. Welcome to the show. I was about ready to shut it down. Yeah, the studio's rather warm. Rather warm. Warm, I say. And we don't have heat upstairs. It's all just natural heat going up from the floors and everything from downstairs. And it still gets plenty warm here in the studio. We don't run the house very hot. We don't run it very hot, but you know how it works with heat. Heat rises. Heat rises. Someone was talking. I'll hit my first point of tonight's show. Laurel asked, did you guys get snow or rain and flooding? We got snow, then we got rain. Now, there might have been flooding in some of the lower areas. We didn't get flooding around here. I'm a good bit up off of the river. Yeah, we probably had maybe 3 to 4 inches of snow before it turned to rain. And then I popped all that off of the chickens run so that when it started to rain, it wouldn't just get super heavy. So by the time it started to rain, I'd popped all of it off. And then the rain came and, the driveway was cleared, out by the road was cleared, where the plows plowed was cleared. It rained pretty much all night, I guess. And then it was 40-ish, damn near 40 today. So we went from below 30 to at least 40 in one day. Boy, the headache for both the missus and myself was rather something. Rather something. Back to my point. I'd mentioned about how Democrats they're not trying to keep people off the ballot because of any legal issues or moral issues. It's because they don't want to lose control. Now, there was more to my post than that, but if a gentleman goes, well, Democrats were always against democracy anyways. They were afraid that the masses would gain control. And it's like, excuse me, yes, that's true, but yeah, not really. See, the thing is our country wasn't set up as a democracy. Everybody seems to claim, especially the left, our nation was founded on racist, misogynistic principles. In other words, only white males could vote. Yeah. No, not true. Not true. Not true. I've written articles about this. Not true. Now, the simple truth is that the vast majority of people who did vote and could vote were white males. But not all white males could vote. And people who weren't white and or male, they oftentimes still got to vote. See, because it was tied to property ownership. Women generally didn't own property. It was believed that the vote should be one per family, and the head of the family must be a landowner, hence somebody that has skin in the game. And the founding fathers were right. Many times when a woman's husband would die, and she was then the head of the household, and also owned property, because of that, she was allowed to vote. But then people started pushing. They started pushing. Oh, we need universal male suffrage. Universal male suffrage. See, people don't, you say that term and people go, oh my God, I thought that's the way it was. No, it wasn't. It was most certainly not. Not all males could vote. Not all white people could vote. Oh, didn't know that. Well, yeah. The shit that people don't know. You could write volumes on just the shit people don't know. I've covered this before. The founding fathers didn't want everybody to vote because they realized that democracy is simply mob rule. And as soon as the mob realized that they could vote the money of everybody else into their pockets, that's exactly what they would do. People are stupid. A person is smart. People, in general, they're stupid. They're ignorant. They're stupid. They're fearful. So the founding fathers set up our system not as a democracy, but as a constitutional republic. And the only thing even quasi-democratic about it, which it wasn't, as I pointed out, we were not a democracy. The first vote for the first president of the United States was not a democracy because only a select group of people could vote. Not everybody. But they also set it up where those who were voted in to represent the people had to play by the game. They had to follow the rules. These are the rules. I've pointed this out before. Their big mistake in that process is they did not impart a mechanism of punishment if you violated the rules. They just figured, oh shit, people will just vote them out. Yeah, no, because we got two things going on here. We've got universal voting, universal suffrage, dangerous thing to have. It's not good, it's not noble, it's stupid. Here you go. Here's an example. Democracy. Everything's a democracy. Try to run your fucking household as a democracy. You know who the head of household in my house has always been? Me. Does that mean that I ran the household like a tyrant? No, I didn't. I took into consideration the feelings and the best interests of my children and the missus. I sat down with the missus and we talked about things. We hashed things out. But when push came to shove, I was the one that made the decision. It wasn't her. Yes, there was plenty of things that she gets to decide on. Yeah. Go ahead. With my blessing. But when push comes to shove, my word goes. You cannot have two kings. Doesn't work that way. Democracy, again, family structure is not a democracy. Because as soon as, can you imagine, you've got 5 kids and only 2 adults. Guess what? We're having fucking Fruit Loops and cake for dinner all week. Because you're outvoted. Yeah, not a democracy. You know, another thing that isn't a democracy, can you imagine having a brain tumor and then everybody getting in a room and going, let's vote on what should be done? No, it doesn't work that way. There's only 2 people. Really, there's only 2 people that decide what gets done. The person whose brain it is, and the doctor who's going to operate on them. That's it. It's not a fucking democracy. Let's all sit down and try to figure this shit out. We're going to toss in our vote. What's going to be the best way? No, it's not the way it works. Democracy is a wonderful idea. That in practice is the most stupid thing that you can ever think of. Again, because people are stupid. They're either stupid, ignorant and stupid, emotional, irrational, and in groups are incredibly dangerous. Now, this is not saying that I'm advocating a monarchy or a king or an emperor or a single ruler for a nation or a group of people. What I'm saying is there is no way that a democracy is ever going to last and work well. Doesn't. You gotta have rules. You gotta have boundaries, laws, and somebody that's going to make the decision. Within those rules. Now, we all still there? Somebody popped in, somebody left. Guess I didn't like my spiel. You like my spiel. The United States is not a democracy. Thinking so and trying to act like it is the ruin of the nation. In conjunction with ignoring the Constitution. But like I said, the Founding Fathers, they didn't put that stipulation in there where they go, okay, we got a shit ton of rules. And see, the Constitution is not to govern the people. It's telling you what the government cannot do. It's a constraint on government, not on the people. The rights within it are not a constraint on the people. The rights within it are a constraint on the government. But that constraint only works if you can punish people. This whole, I'm going to let the government do whatever the fuck they want to do. And then when they're called out on it, and then they're told to stop, they go, oh yeah, okay, I guess I'll stop now. And then they go and do something else. You don't get shit fixed that way. You just get people doing the same thing. Why wouldn't they keep trying to? Why wouldn't they keep doing? There's no getting voted out of office. Shit. That doesn't change. It's not the remedy. The remedy is, there are remedies. You can remove them from office before their term is over with, but nobody does that because it's arduous to do so. By design, so that it just the whim of the people, you didn't like what happened, you can't kick somebody out, but you can do it. You can do it. Same way as you can impeach judges. There is not a single person, I tell this all the time, there's not a single person in government office, to include judges, presidents, vice presidents, what have you, that you cannot remove from their office. There is a legal mechanism to remove them from their offices. Hey, Donna, welcome to the show. She says almost 60 here today and tomorrow. Then a week of 30s and 40s for highs there. Yeah, we're gonna get similar thing. I think we've got about. I think the missus was saying that we're headed for some quite a few days of warmer weather. It's easier on the oil. Makes it last. Yeah, it's not a problem. But like I say, the thing that I need is it needs to be cold enough that the trees don't start to wake up. So your trees need to stay dormant. Your plants need to stay dormant. And you need enough moisture so that you don't have a drought. So, it can rain every night. I don't care. But you need those things. You need to be cold enough so that the trees don't wake up, and you need to be wet enough so that your water supplies are not low the next year. But so there you go. Yeah, we're not a democracy, and while the Democrats, they've got democracy, it's in their name. They know it's hogwash. Universal suffrage was the beginning of real issues in our country, because everybody shouldn't be allowed to vote. People with skin in the game, they should be able to vote. I've said the same thing. If you don't pay taxes, you shouldn't be able to vote. And I'm not talking about sales taxes. I'm talking about if you don't pay federal taxes, if you don't pay property taxes, so the property taxes for the state, if you don't pay property taxes, you directly, not through your rent, you directly, if you don't own property, you shouldn't be able to vote. If you don't pay federal taxes, you shouldn't be able to vote in federal election. It's that simple. Or actually, no, it's as simple as if you don't fucking own property. There you go. It's done. If you don't own property, you can't vote. It takes care of a myriad of issues. And then still make sure that and yes, if you have a mortgage, you should still be counted as owning property. That's not renting. Because renting is renting to a landlord, and the landlord pays the property taxes and or the mortgage. Because a lot of people that rent, they don't realize, hey, do you know that the guy that you're renting for, he hasn't paid off the property? So if you've got a mortgage, in other words, you outright own, you should be able to vote. It's that simple. It eliminate a lot of the foolishness. It would also, and I also says, if you obey the rules or you enforce the rules, who was elected shouldn't matter. Like, oh my God, Biden's in office. Shouldn't matter. Shouldn't matter what an incompetent shitbird he is. Oh, Trump's in office. He's a tyrant. He isn't. Again, I pointed this out before. Oh, the left says he's a tyrant. Look, the people that got harmed the most from the Trump presidency was his staff. That was it. Other than that, he did some good things and he did some bad things. I'd say he was a mediocre president. Oh my God, how do you say that? No. Look at the record, not the rhetoric. Look at the record, not the rhetoric. Did he build the fucking wall? No, he didn't. Think of all the problems that would have been done if he had accomplished just that. Oh, Hillary's going to be in prison. Yeah, okay. Oh, he's going to drain the swamp. He was the swamp. He was just as much the swamp as the politicians were. And it didn't get drained. And let's say he wasn't the swamp. Still didn't get drained. Just as many gators and snakes and creepy crawly critters as there was when he took office. People like his rhetoric. I get it. You like his rhetoric. He says what you feel. Yeah, I get it. But did it play out? No. One good thing about there was many good things. But I can say that just about any president, even the worst that you can think. There were some good things that happened. Fuck, even some good things that happened with Carter. Ooh. But the world was a more stable place. Why? Because they didn't know. Holy shit. What's Trump going to do? He was the wild card. So, good on that. Biden's in office. Psst, nobody gives a shit about Biden. Our military, oh, we're the strongest. No, we do not have the strongest military. We have the best shit. We got the best shit. Our numbers are lowest that they've been in over 40 fucking years. Our military is swamped with a bunch of woke idiots. Doesn't mean everybody in the military is a woke idiot. But you go ahead and you ask the good folks that are in the military what they're swamped with, and they'll fucking tell you. I would not trust our military right now to go into a major conflict. It's been kneecapped. And it's been kneecapped. It's been getting kneecapped for quite a while. I lost somebody that I consider my friend good many years ago. Remember when the Navy kept having all of these little fucking dinghies and other ships running into their war vessels? And I was like, what the fuck? You got 3 or 4 different types of fucking radar. You've got lookouts. You've got everything. There is no amount of bad weather that should allow a slow-moving tanker truck to slam into a U.S. military vessel. There's no amount. No, you can't convince me that that's not a massive failure on many fronts. There's no way that shit should happen. They didn't learn after the USS Cole. No, and they just kept allowing ships to run into their ships. And I said, what the hell? So, former Navy guy, someone I thought was my friend, got all pissed off at me, called me an asshole. Oh, you're an asshole. Like, oh yeah, I'm an asshole. Less than a week after he cut ties with me, the Secretary of the Navy was relieved of his position. Why? Because he kept allowing his ships to get run into in the middle of the night by slow-moving fucking tanker vessels. It's like he didn't take care of the problem. But I was the asshole. I wasn't saying it just to be a jerk. I said it because I love my country. I am a military man through and through. I served my time. I bled my blood. I saw my shit. I did my shit. And to see our military turn into this shit where they put freaking trannies on TV wearing uniforms saying how great our military is because of the diversity. Fuck you, Klinger. We used to give these people Section 8s. Now we're giving them surgeries and promotions and talking about how fucking brave they are. No, no. It's insane. Our enemies are laughing their ass off. Back to voting. Oh, John, if you didn't own property or you didn't pay taxes, you'd give up your vote? Fucking right I would. Fucking right I would. Because I hold the same standards across the board. Same way as I said, I don't even care if you own property. As soon as you are on government assistance, I'm talking about welfare. I'm not talking about Medicaid and Social Security, because I'm sorry, that's not assistance. That's shit you people paid into. I'm talking about if you are on welfare, you're getting welfare, food stamps, or any of those things, you can't vote. You can't vote. Then as soon as you're off of that, you can vote again if you otherwise qualify. Fair enough. So, John, if things got rough for you and you had to take a handout from the taxpayer, you'd give up your right to vote? Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Why? Because you shouldn't be able to vote when you're taking the shit from it. That's why I'll say freaking public unions? No. Police should not have unions. Teachers unions should not exist. Are you fucking kidding me? At a minimum, maybe a private school teachers, but not a public sector job. No. We're not fucking communists. And that's what unions are. Communists. I've said my say on unions before, too. A lot of people, oh, my husband was in the union. Oh, no, I was in the union. It was great. Yeah. People benefiting from it can find a billion reasons to justify a union, and none of it is morally sound. Did you build this company? Did you put your blood, sweat, and tears? Oh, they need us. Yeah, they do. Businesses need employees. And if you don't want to work there, don't fucking work there. Work someplace else. The business will find out, I'm not doing something right. I'm either not paying enough or my shit isn't right. Most all the things that unions take credit for, it wasn't done because of unions. Happened simultaneously, but not because of. It's like, oh, the 5-day work week, 40-hour work week. Yeah, Henry Ford. Unions? No. He was a smart man. He knew I can get more work out of people if they worked reasonable hours and less hours per week. And they had a couple days off and they'd come back refreshed, and it was great. Shit was going anyways. Same way with slavery. Tell people, did you know slavery was going away? It was an issue that didn't need to be an issue. It was going away. Naturally. Why? It wasn't cost effective to have fucking slaves. It was going away. With machinery and mechanization, there was less and less. Why would you, again, horses and oxen and donkeys. The reason that stopped being a major factor in farming was the freaking tractor. Oh, gee, I don't have to feed these things. I can get work done 4 or 5 times faster. No need to break. Why do I need, 6 horses and 4 donkeys and 2 oxen? Why do I need that? I certainly didn't have it because it was a pet. Now, is this saying that I think that slavery was good? No, I'm just saying you got to look at the whole picture. There was a lot of things happening all at the same time. The whole thing, women's suffrage. Oh, yeah, the suffragettes, the women, they got the right to vote. They pushed it. No, they didn't. Why? Because the women couldn't vote. How the fuck could women force them getting the right to vote if they couldn't vote? If men just didn't want it, they'd still say, no, there's no amount of protest you could do. If you couldn't vote and only men could vote on whether or not women could vote, you're going to tell me that women were the ones. That's the same way with slavery. Oh, slavery. Slaves did not earn their freedom. They were given their freedom through the hard work of somebody else who wasn't black. But that's not how history is told. They rose up. They did we're bringing power. No, you weren't. If it wasn't for all of those hardworking and dedicated and morally sound white folk, and technology hadn't advanced, hell, even if it had, there might be slavery still. You might have house butlers and stuff like that, but you definitely wouldn't have field hands. It doesn't make sense. Well, John, then how do you explain the migrant workers? Well, because in those situations, it's cheaper to pay them less. But a lot of those jobs have gone away. Even today, a lot of them jobs have gone away. So yeah, it wasn't women that got the women's right to vote. It was men. wasn't slaves that earned their way out of slavery. No, it was a bunch of hardworking, righteous, truly righteous white folk. And there was other issues at play too, but we always have this revisionist view of history and what's going on and what's not. Like, no, you don't know. You don't know. You don't know. Taxation. Oh my God! If the founding fathers were to see how much we're taxed now, Jesus criminy. Man, I've written articles about that. Did you know that most places in the United States, well, in the colonies, still didn't have proper taxes? They go, New York. You want to move to New York? You pay no taxes. That's how they got people to move to the colonies. People were taxed far heavier in England than they were in the colonies. Colonies only had a handful of taxes, and they were minimal at best. They just didn't want any taxes. And then what do they do? And we become our own country. And then what happens? They realize, oh shit, stuff's got to be paid for. Well, how do you pay for it? Well, you got to tax people. And look at our taxes now. Holy crap. Spending out of control. Taxes out of control. It's crazy. We got the Biden administration, wide open border policy. They want more and more money to pay more and more people to help process, not to kick these people out, not to stop them at the border, but to process them. So that they can come back later, as much as 8 years later, to determine whether or not they should stay in this country. Look, as soon as you let them loose, they're here. They're here. And the Biden administration knows it. He freaking knows it. And the left supported it until the same people that were flooding all of the southern states and the southern communities were dumped in their lap. Now they're screaming, oh my goodness, you terrible governor of Texas, terrible governor. He's doing this. He's bringing a ruin to the nation. Oh, it's okay. Let him absorb the crime. Let him absorb the masses. Here's a number for you. The amount of reported border interactions during the Trump administration is just over 1 million. It's 4 years. Last year alone under the Biden administration, it's over 2.5 million. 1 year. And that's the reported. 2.5. Shit. They're trying to swamp the country. And I don't care if they were freaking Englishmen or Australian or German or French. I don't care. I care that they're not coming here legally. I care that they have no right, moral, legal, or otherwise, to be here. And they are a drain on our system. There's been times in our country where we thought a large influx of immigrants, and we generally took them from certain areas, was going to be helpful overall. And we let people in. Orderly, the right way. This shit ain't happening now. Again, tonight's coffee is Blueberry Cobbler from New England brand. So, okay, who else is out there? I know people are watching. Everybody's been quiet. Like, no, John's stirring the pot tonight. No, we need to talk honestly about things in this country, and then not just talk about it. Go and do something. Do something. Gus, you out there? I got to figure out what I'm going to say about Gus. I got to get Gus worked up so he's like, fuck it, I can't type. There's Peggy. Says, hey there. They're here now for one reason, to boost voting. Yeah. Because, and this is what gets me too, is the first thing they're going to do is wherever they're set and wherever they're at, by the time the next census takes place, they get representation bodies. But then when they're made voting citizens, they vote Democrat. I tell you what, the Democrats would be screaming high heaven if they started, if we started importing 2.5 million Cubans every year. The Democrats would be throwing a shit fit. And see, it's not because of the race. It's because Cubans vote Republican. Yeah, so yeah, if this is, again, I've said, this is not about, I don't care about the color shift in the United States. I really don't. I don't give a shit about the color shift. If in fact there is one. I don't care. I care about the voting demographic shifting. That's how all the good states get fucked. Happened to Colorado. You get a couple big cities in an otherwise mediocre populated state. Cities breed Democrats. Cities attract Democrats. So they move in. So we're from California, and we're gonna go to Denver and some of these other cities because Colorado is beautiful. Yes, it is. And they bring their political baggage with them, and then suddenly you've got more people in a small area that change the voting demographic. It happened in New York. And it's happened so much in New York. I've talked to people from upstate New York. They get a kick out of this. They think they're conservatives because they're not as left as everybody else is. They think they're conservatives. It's like, oh, really? You're an old school Democrat. You're not a conservative. Donna says, happened in Austin. Yeah, Texas the same way. Austin's a big thing. It's not the same thing. Houston's bad. Cities breed Democrats. Why? Vote. Vote in what they can get. That shit would change. Again, make it so that only property owners get to vote. Watch how that shit changes. Oh, you're not going to be able to get all this stuff? I don't care about your social views. I really don't. I don't give a shit about social views. I care about how that affects the nation and affects everybody else. Yeah. Talk to people from upstate New York. Yes, you are more conservative than the whack jobs at the state capitol, New York City, and like. Yes, but you ain't a conservative. Oh, you think owning a gun makes you a conservative? Fuck, Democrats almost all owned guns. That's not the Second Amendment was not a Republican versus Democrat issue until recently. Simply owning a gun and believing in the Second Amendment didn't make you a conservative. Just made you a normal American. That's it. Normal American. So I just laugh. It's like, no. We got 20 state attorneys general sent a letter to the Biden administration the other day. They're all pissed off. There's a ammo maker that accounts for about 40% of the civilian ammo production of 5.56. But I think that the government has contracts with them and help subsidize them because they also produce the ammo for our military. So it's like, oh, we don't want this company being able to sell military grade ammunition to military. I always get that military grade. When somebody says military grade, civilian shit's usually better than military, right? Everybody acts like, oh, military grade means it's better, right? No. Military grade means it was the best quality that they could get at the lowest price that they think will be okay for a bunch of retards. That's what military grade means. It's not superior. Military grade does not mean superior. Like AR-15s. Oh, military grade. You want military spec, military grade. No, you don't. I mean, it's fine. You want at least that. That's a good starting point. You want at least that. But there's companies out there that make ARs a hell of a lot better than military grade. LWRC makes way better than military grade. And they're not the only one. There's a shit ton out there that make better than military grade. Saying military grade is basically like saying this is the base level that you should buy. If you buy anything that's at least not military grade, you're going to get a really crappy product. But no, it doesn't. Military grade doesn't mean what people think it does. Oh my goodness! And anybody been in the military knows that shit. I get out of the military. I don't want military grade shit. I want better shit. So now we've got some influencers out there. Oh no, they're trying to keep the ammo out of the hand. Number one, this is a political stunt during an election year. Ain't gonna do shit. The government is not going to change their contract with this company because these 20 attorneys general got a freaking problem. One of them is the one that's constantly going after Trump. Maine, Vermont, New York, Connecticut. There's 20 of them. Think of all of the California. Hit all of your big liberal states. They were there in this 20. And I go, okay, let's say they did change the contract. Why the hell aren't other ammo producers taking advantage of it? Ramp up your production. If there's a market, it's going to be filled. Let them fill it. Military grade ammunition. Yeah, you think so? You think so? Look at a civilian round and look at a military round, and you tell me which one is more powerful. And get back to me about military grade. Oh, 5.56. The AR-15. It'll blow a hole in a cow. Really? It'll blow a hole in a cow. Really? You mean the round that most states don't allow you to hunt a deer with? Why? Not because there's no deer left. It's because it would be inhumane. If your shot isn't perfect, you're not going to kill that deer. Because that's not what the round is made for. You can kill varmints. They consider the 5.56 a varmint killer. You can kill a deer with it. It's not what you want. 308. Yeah. Oh, a 308. That's a 7.62 NATO. That's what our machine guns use. That's what the sniper rifles use. That's what yeah. It's not AR-15. It's a big round. They don't have any problems with a 7.62. Got a little hint for them. It's shot out of guns that look just like ARs. Looks just like an AR-15. And that you can kill a cow with. That you can kill a deer with. Humanely. That is overkill for a human. We're a soft-skinned, fragile creature. I don't see what the left just doesn't get it. Humans are a soft-skinned, fragile creature. Laurel says exactly. 223 doesn't have enough stopping power. Not something it could take down a coyote. You can take down a coyote with a 223. It's a varmint. It's a medium-sized game, huh? Yeah, it's a medium-sized game. Like humans, we're a frail creature. We're a frail creature. Contrary to popular belief, did you know the AR round, the 223, 5.56, wasn't necessarily designed to kill people? It was designed to wound them. Yes, it will kill them. It can. That's yeah. But it's been a tactic and has been known in warfare for a long time that if you can wound one person, you've taken 3 people out of the battle. That one person and 2 people to care for them. You could write books. Again, you could fill copious volumes on what the left doesn't know about firearms, while they profess to know everything about firearms. Military grade. Oh, it's military grade. Jesus, stop it. Up until the 5.56, we had vastly bigger rounds. And they were primarily the hunting rounds of the day. 30-06, 308. It works good on an elk. It should work good on a dude. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But it doesn't work the same way in reverse. Oh, what works good on a dude's going to blow a hole through a cow. It's like, oh, I picked up an AR-15. It was absolutely huge. It was huge? 8 pounds? That's huge. Oh, and the ammunition, it's like a big 50 cal. Really, it's smaller than my pinky. The whole round, to include the shell casing, is smaller than my pinky. They're not big rounds. If you were to actually show somebody who had never seen, a 5.56 round, just place it in their hand, they'd go, what? What? Yeah. It's basically, it's between a 22 and a 25. It's right in the middle. But it's a little bit longer. It's got more powder behind it. That's it. It's not a big round. Gus was showing me some goodies in his cellar the other day. I forget what relative he said he had it. And he pulled out it was basically, it was a filled-in shell. It was just the shell, but without the thing. I think it was a 20 millimeter. Yeah, it's about that big around, the shell. Shell about that big around. It's big. It's big. 50 cal. Not quite as big around as my thumb. But usually the bullets about like that long. What the left doesn't know. And then they just go and spout their shit. You can take an AR-15 and put it up against your crotch as a dude and shoot it, and you're going to be okay. Try that with a held. I'm trying to think of something that somebody could not familiar with guns would, like just your average 30-06 rifle. Just put it up against your crotch and pull the trigger. Go ahead. ARs are super easy to use. Yeah, 45-70. Yeah, same thing. Ain't not quite like yeah, it should be equivalent. The guns that shoot them are usually different sizes, but yeah, 45-70. It's not good. You don't want that against your shoulder usually. You better make sure it's planted firmly. You're leaning into it a little bit, and you got a little ass behind you, and you'll be fine. But it's not. No, AR-15. Go ahead. Oh, but that's why they're the preferred. That's why they're the preferred, weapon of mass shooters. Took down a buffalo. Yeah, it does. Yeah, 45-70 will. We talked about that too. That like the movies like Quigley, I think he has it. It was equivalent of 45-70, but it was a different round, but ish. But the ranges that they were shooting the buffalo at were not what you see in movies. You were a lot closer. They're not long distance. They're hard hitting, but they're not long distance cartridges. So you generally got a lot closer than what the movies show, and you take it down. So you still had to use some pretty good hunting skills. But yeah. Oh, but it's because they're so easy to use and they're so deadly. That's why the preferred weapon of mass shooters. They're not actually. Mass shooters tend to, according to the definition, tend to use handguns. And then this last Yahoo didn't have an AR. He had a shotgun. He had a small caliber pistol and an IED. It's like, tell people you're not going to control this shit by trying to control law-abiding citizens owning weapons that are going to be most effective for them. You're not going to do this. Because you could wipe out guns. You could wave a magic wand in the air. And the culture and society is still there. They'll use bombs. They'll burn down a building. They'll run a truck through a playground. It's not the gun. You think that a gun is easier to use than a Ford panel van? You're an idiot. You're an idiot. But yeah, 45-70 will take down a buffalo. Tatanka. Buffalo. The American bison. Which looks nothing like a buffalo. Look nothing like a buffalo. The American bison. Also, like we talked about this, but also not as big as what people think they are. They weigh a lot. They're not as big. You think, oh my God, I'd stand up next to one and they'd be this. No, you look right over their back. Most of them, they're not that tall. But they'll fuck you up. A deer will too. Boy, they'll let you know what for. Yeah, especially during rutting season and stuff. Yeah, I'll let you know. But yeah, humans, we're a very fragile species. My goodness. And everybody thinks they're Superman. And then they assign, it's a magic gun. No, it just looks the way it does. The AR-15 is no more the magic killing machine than simply putting a couple stickers and a big ironing board spoiler on the back of your car makes your car the fastest thing on the road. It doesn't work like that. Like the arbitrary things. Whether the hand grip's here or a pistol grip there or whatever. It's going to change it. It's like, it doesn't change shit. Most people would, by the left's definition, the Mini 14 is perfectly fine. It's like, did you look at how many people the Mini 14 took out in World War II and since? Stop it. But it's wood. Yeah, it's wood. Fucking left. Again, today's coffee is Blueberry Cobbler from New England brand coffee. Check in your local supermarkets, or you can get it on Amazon. Ooh, hot. Laurel says, I love my Mini 14. Yeah, they're fun little guns. Yeah. So you just, what the left doesn't know. They learn from movies and rhetoric is what they learn from, which means they learn shit. It's going to be an interesting year. I try to tell people, though, and I say this every damn election cycle, people act as if the election is the be-all and end-all. It's not. It's fucking not. It's the beginning of a new cycle. It's not the end. It's the beginning. You just keep at it. Doesn't matter who's in office. Make sure that those who are elected to work on your behalf do what's best for us and within the confines of the Constitution. It's that simple. Doesn't matter who it is. Hold them accountable. No hero worship. I don't dislike Biden because Biden is a Democrat. I dislike Biden because he's a piece of shit. He's an insane man who his wife is taking advantage of him, whose handlers are running the freaking show. And he thinks getting up and claiming that Donald Trump is Hitler, while he himself is acting exactly like Hitler and delivering his speeches exactly like Hitler. Yeah, I listened to those speeches. And you listen to the audience, it's like not as cheering as one might think. Thank God. Then going to the black church and pandering to that group of freaking jackals. I don't call them jackals because they were black. I'm calling them jackals because that's what they were. You think the time to fight, you think the battle, you think the war is at election time. It's not. Again, it shouldn't matter who's in office. Hold them accountable. People aren't holding them accountable. I can't do that shit myself. I can point people to the direction. But after that, hey. Yeah, that's the handout crowd. Yeah. Woe is me. I'm a victim. Give me. Mm-hmm. Like I said, limit voting to people who own property. You'll see how shit changes real quick. We're not a freaking democracy. Democracies are dangerous. They're mob rule. It's that simple. I don't care if I get to vote as long as the rules are followed, because the rules were damn good. The rules were damn good. There is no appropriate time for violence and insurrection by a people against their government, says Biden, paraphrasing here. Really? Really? And you're saying that at just outside Valley Forge? Do you know the historical significance of Valley Forge? Do you know that our country was started because of an insurrection? It was the biggest insurrection in our history. There is no, it's like, you better read the freaking Constitution, because the Constitution actually lays that shit out. Guess what, Joe? What do you think the Second Amendment's for? You act like January 6th was a fucking insurrection? It was some sort of a coup. Coups generally use military force. Coups are where a political party or political leader goes in and by force of military overturns the government and takes control. Did that fucking happen on January 6th? Did anything close to that happen on January 6th? No. In fact, there's been more damage and as bad a violence, if not worse, at state houses and government courthouses around the nation before and after that day. Before and after that day. With the intent to stop government business, which is what they're saying the coup is, and they're trying to take control. And it's like, really? Really? The only difference is one was arguably from the right. And I go, yeah, not as much as you think. And all the rest are from the left. And the left is great. You can do whatever the hell you want to, because then it's justifiable. It's justifiable when I do it. It's not justifiable when you do it. Get out of here. No. It was an insurrection with no guns. You know how many guns the right has, right? Do you know how many guns we have? Do you know how many guns that are in this very room that I'm sitting in? It was not a freaking insurrection. Because there's no such thing as not an armed insurrection. Are you kidding me? Really? There was more damage done to D.C. the year prior in the riots from the left than what happened on January 6th. January 6th only happened in a couple hours. Virtually no damage. Only one person killed. Ashley Babbitt. And she was killed by a rogue police officer who was a thug, who shouldn't have had a badge, was not in uniform. Peggy says enough to stop a home invasion. Yeah, I got enough to stop a home invasion pretty much just on my person, given any minute. But yeah, but yeah, it's like, really? No. It was not. That's why there's not a single person that's been charged with insurrection. Not a single person. Oh, but Ray Epps, he got himself 1 year of probation. No jail time. 1 year of probation, 100 hours of community service. He's not a Fed. My fucking ass. He's either a Fed or Fed adjacent, i.e., he was either an informant or a tool of the federal government, period. He's a Fed. We got people that were just, we got people that were convicted of doing shit who weren't even there and got decades of federal prison time. They weren't even there. Ray Epps was there day before and day of. Ray Epps was inciting and instigating day before and day of. And he got 1 year probation and 100 hours of community service. Get the fuck out of here. You want to see the full story? Go find the judge that sentenced him, and go look at his other sentences for other people who were either pled guilty or convicted of various things on that day, and go and look at what he sentenced them to. And then bounce that off of 1 year probation, 100 hours of community service. Donna says, you should watch the interview Tucker had with the Capitol Police Chief during... Yeah, I saw parts of that. Yeah, I saw parts of it. The whole thing is a fucking setup. It was a setup. It was orchestrated. They knew ahead of time. That's why they didn't use the National Guard, which is what Trump had suggested. Go ahead and use the military. Go ahead and do it. They didn't use... They were at... Really? You put less people out to work that day than a normal day? And you knew it was the day? And then you let people in? And then you gave them guided tours? Oh, Jesus. Insurrection, my ass. Oh. Yes, folks. I has a solar panel for a love-making machine. That's bald. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it's all hogwash. That's the same way with the Whitmer kidnapping. You had more feds involved in that than you had kidnappers. Like, Jesus. It's like the whole racism is at an all-time low, or shall I say, I think racism is going up, and I understand why. I understand. Can you think back to the 80s and the 90s? We didn't have these racial tensions. But we also didn't have a victimhood mentality and claims that white people were the devil. And every problem on earth, it's like, really, and I've talked this before, you live in an inner city and the white man's keeping you down? Bitch, when was the last time you even saw a white man? You're all around black people. Stop it. You yourself are guiding your fate and your direction. You know, the people around you, your communities. Oh, there's no businesses. Why? Because they're racist. No. They just don't like repairing windows and getting robbed every weekend or several times a week, and, people getting beat up and, living in dirty, filthy streets. Talked about this too. Oh, yeah. Yeah, UBI, Universal Basic Income. It'll allow people to put more time into painting and artistic. Really? How's welfare worked out? Where was the last virtuoso that was discovered via welfare because they weren't having to work and they had all this free time? That raised their children? Why aren't they're not working? How come they're not raising their children right? They got shit out in front of their house, trash down the street. They can't pick that shit up. They're not working. This whole idea of freeing up people's time from labor, from jobs, will make a better, more prosperous, and more artistic society. Bullshit. Does the complete opposite. There are vastly fewer non-virtuosos and artisans out there, greats, because they're working in a factory somewhere. Could be, but no. Because the virtuosos always went that path. And they weren't sitting around doing nothing. They weren't sitting around dreaming. They were sculpting. They were painting. We got no shortage of people that have that hobby and that desire. They're sculpting and painting. No different than any of the other sculptors and painters, except they're just not as good. Every once in a while, one comes up. It's just the way of things, and that's fine. But it's this idea that we have a society of hidden Leonardo da Vinci's. And no, but for their jobs, no. So stop pointing fingers at everybody else. I wrote up today. I put it up. There was 4 things, but I only posted 3. Number 1 is I'm going to paraphrase. I don't know how I wrote it. Number 1 is having a organized work environment leads to higher productivity. Being in an environment that is clean and relatively clutter-free. You don't have to be anal about shit. Relatively clutter-free. Gives you inner peace and tranquility. I'll get to you in a second, Peggy. And number 3, dressing well. I'm not saying you got to wear a three-piece suit. Dressing well. And having good hygiene will make you feel good about yourself, and you tend to act accordingly. You act better. Those three things. People's lives can be picked up with those three things, and you don't need to spend a shit ton of time all at once on any of them. Each day, do something small. I'm still working on my weight room because the studio was in there, and then when I moved the studio over here, now it's got a bunch of other shit. It's collected stuff, so I got stuff all over the place. Each time I go in to work out each day, I'll do one little thing. I'll take this and I'll find a place for it. You know, whether it's in the room or whether it's in another room, and I'll find a place for it where it should go, and I put it away. I organize something. I don't spend hours in there. I do one or two things a day. And in no time, it's going to be done. It's going to be good. You do that with your house. Oh my God, my house got all cluttered. Don't look at the entire thing. When you pass through a room, put something in its place. Pick this up, take care of it. Each time you pass through, pick something up, take care of it. Before you know it, oh shit, my house looks better. And then you feel good about yourself. Another thing that goes along with that is physical fitness. Now, a lot of people, I've got a lot of my viewers and stuff we're middle-aged and on. I get that. We've got a lot of health issues. But there's stuff we can still do. But certainly when you're younger, my God. And even when you're older, there's things that you can do. And if you start doing them, just like all the other things, it's a ripple effect. It's like tossing a stone into the water. That stone causes ripples, and they go out and they get bigger exponentially. You will find that a lot of your problems start to go away with handling the simple shit. You'll start looking at things in a more positive light. You'll feel better about yourself. Being physically fit, that's a key. Anyone who has started, people hate starting, but once you get going, it doesn't mean that you're going to train for a freaking biathlon or something. It's just get your joints moving, get everything going. You find out, it's like, holy shit, as long as there's no major physical ailment that's preventing you, which most people, they've got minimal stuff, you're going to feel so much better. You'll have more energy. You'll feel better. Add that with the other three that I said, and most people's lives will be turned around. Without doing anything else. Because the rest flows from that. Peggy says, what? Taping a banana to canvas. Oh, Jesus, yeah, don't get me started. Putting a urinal in a box, in a plexiglass box. Toilet in a plexiglass box. It's art. No, it's fart. That's what it is. Stop it. Stop it. Look at art from the past versus art in our recent past. And you go, oh my God. Look at architecture from the past versus recent past. You go, oh my God. And we've advanced as a species? What the fuck? No. Technology is advanced. We haven't advanced. I had also said, I talked about before, when you're out, try to compliment somebody. I like your shirt. A lot of times, and there's a sneaky way that you can do it. I do this a lot too. Is like if you're in line, you see somebody got a really nice winter coat or something. It's really nice. I look over at the missus and I'll say it just loud enough. Hey, that's a wonderful looking jacket she's wearing. You say it just loud enough so somebody else can hear it. So you don't even have to be, there's a way, you don't have to actually confront the other person, but it's great if you do. If the person had looked around, I would have said, yeah, love your jacket. I'll say it to guys too. I say all the time, man, I love that shirt. Man, I'd like to have that shirt. I mean, not that shirt like that. Give me your shirt. It's like the Terminator was the second movie. Give me your clothes. Oh my goodness. That was the first. He might have done that in the first movie too. The second movie he had that Elton John sunglasses, but But no, let people know. Hey, it looks nice, dude. You're looking dapper today. So yeah, and ladies, get yourself a nice blouse or something. Smile, fix up your hair. Like we used to do, you wouldn't leave the house to go shopping without getting yourself fixed up. It's not like you're going out to the club. You don't put club makeup on, but get your hair right. Guys too. I would never leave the house. And definitely not feeling right if I look like a scrub. No. I don't even like, that's right. Let's say I'm doing a project around the house, right? And I've been working with wood and dirt and shit and like whatever. And I'm dirty. And I've been working. And I need something at the hardware store. I hate getting in the vehicle and driving down to the hardware store looking like that. Nobody thinks twice about it because clearly I'm working and I'm coming to get stuff. It's not an issue, but I hate looking like that. You come to my house and I'm wearing sweats. Sweats are my pajamas. I mean, I don't wear them to bed, but sweats are my lounge stuff. It's before I get dressed in the morning. I was going to say before I go to bed at night. It's like, no, I don't wear sweats at night. I wear my clothes at night and do my whole Thunderdome entrance thing. I got to take everything off and put it here and there. But, yeah, have some pride. Have some pride. Doesn't mean that you have to wear a 3-piece suit. It does just have some pride. And this freaking ripped clothes shit, I don't get it. I don't get it. And my youngins, they wear it too. So I just don't. I always give them hell for it though. It's like, oh my God, haven't you killed that bear yet? Jesus. Man, I got a bear running around, ripping everybody's clothes up. Holy crap. You'd never see somebody with any self-respect. You'd see maybe bums with ripped clothes. And even then, rarely they'd sew the damn thing shut. But yeah, put patches on it. No, people are buying shit that's got rips all over. I don't get it. It's not sexy. It's not. I see your pasty white leg through your ripped jeans. Ooh, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, you could give me a heart attack. I'm just so turned on. See your pasty white leg, looking like chicken skin through your freaking ripped jeans. Oh, be still my heart. No, stop it. Donna says, I hate ripped jeans. Yeah, it's like, oh man, I get faded jeans. I get that. I'm not a big faded jeans guy either. Look, like I said, I grew up poor. So having nice jeans, that's something like people don't like dark indigo jeans, dark blue jeans. It's like, oh my God, no, they got to be faded. No, give me a pair. I don't own any currently. The missus, she likes the stone-washed look. But yeah, I love a good pair of dark jeans. Peggy says, let's Laurel first. Laurel says, when my husband tore the bicep off his forearm, he insisted on taking a shower before going to the ER. Yeah, no shit. No shit. Yeah. Peggy says, have you ever watched Customer Wars on A&E? I don't have A&E. I don't have cable. I do not have cable. John doesn't have cable. Yeah, it was one of the, I was watching cable. Maybe 3 times a week in less than 4 hours total. It's like, that's not worth it. It's like, so it sucked a little bit. You cut it off and it's like, oh no, but No, you don't miss it for very long. So no, I don't have cable. Donna says, I don't even care for faded jeans. Yeah, I don't mind faded jeans. I prefer a nice pair of. On my list, some brown jeans and some green jeans are my list coming up. Most all my jeans now are, I got a couple black ones still, but my size fluctuated and, yeah. So maybe get some black ones back in, but some browns and some greens back into rotation would be nice. The jeans I have on now, let me see here. Are these? Yeah, these are the ones that I have on now. And nobody will probably, this annoys the living shit out of me. Okay. And I do wear them out, and I'm self-conscious. Nobody notices this. I got a little itty bitty hole about where in my knee area on my right leg. And when I say a hole, I mean like, it's like it's just a little pin prick. It's not really a hole yet, but the fibers are, I can see it. It's like a little donut. It's not a hole, but it's almost like a little donut. And I consider these are now my casual and work jeans. They look exactly like my other ones, but my other ones don't have that little teeny flaw on it. But yeah. So there you have it. And this is a work shirt. It's faded green. Looks fine. Throw a vest on it. Got up this morning. Okay, I'll just throw this shit on and go. And the missus is like, "Oh, aren't you all spiffed up today or something like that?" It's like, no, I just the same clothes I wear every day. I just put a vest on. And there you go. Little things like that will make a big difference. Guys, go get yourself some vests. Same shirt, put a different vest. Get several different color vests. You can, if the shirt has enough different colors in it, you can use different vests and it'll make it look different. So there you go. There's a tip from the Cowboy. Still only wore my slick once this year. Just once. I may have to, if it keeps raining, I'll have to wear it because that's what it's for. It's for rain and snow. But, yeah. Yeah, my shirt looks like crap tonight. So, whatever. It's been a crappy day. Had a migraine all day. Gotta love the weather. Oh, while I got you all here, I said that I would look into things. Connie and Elliot. Not going to get into it much. I'm just going to say this. They're not doing well. Connie still has her health issues, and Elliot's business I'm not going to get into, there's a bunch of factors that went into it. He is now seeking employment elsewhere. They're not doing good. They've been without a income coming in since about October. And I'm trying to get Connie to get an account set up so we can all chip in and send her some shit. But I'm not going to force her. If she gets one set up, I will let folks know. But until then, prayers are most helpful. Prayers are most helpful. It's still hot. Still hot. Yeah, that's what the missus says. Still hot. Oh, my goodness. Peggy says, I'm sorry to hear that. I will pray for them. Thank you. Yeah. I was not feeling too good. It's like, no, this kind of sucks. I wish she had let me know earlier. There's certain things I could have done. Still can do, but it's the ball's in her court. There's only certain things I can do until she gets certain things set up. But, you know, people have pride. Elliot's not. Elliot's taking this pretty rough. I get it. Been there. Not to minimize things, but there's been points in my life where I ate one meal a day so that the kids could eat 3. So, yeah, I know. So we're hoping for the best. And I told her I'd let folks know what was happening, but not get into all the details. And I think I gave you enough. And I'm hoping that Connie sets up an account so that I can then let folks know, and then people can do what they're led to do and able to do. I told Connie back, it was early last year. Connie used to give a nominal donation. And I told her right from day one, do not put yourself into financial risk and harm for me. Do not do it. I appreciate all the shit people ain't sending me. I appreciate whenever somebody sends me something. I appreciate it, whether they send it. There's links in the description. If you'd like to send a Cowboy a coffee cup or a hat or a shirt or whatever, knick-knack, whatever, something for the chickens, the address is underneath the show. If you'd like to make a donation for the show, be it a one-time, and when I say Joe, it's not just the show, it's all of my stuff. There's a link there. If you want to set up a monthly, go ahead and do that. But I can tell you what, I cannot buy a bottle of whiskey for what I make off of my content every month. And I'd warned people last year. I said, if shit doesn't change, I may go away. Because if I'm not making a dime, I can be doing other shit. But I stuck around. I'm still here. We'll see how it plays out. So I fully understand. I have empathy for other people in hard spots. Hour and a half in. Now, what else was there? Gus still listening in there? Picked up all my beef the other day. Went over to Gus's. He's going to have my order divided into 2. Half of it now and then half of it in the next slaughter. It's like, no. He said, why don't you take it? You take all yours now. I said, okay, I'll take all mine now. Saves it on everybody else. Saves the hassle. So I'll put it all in the freezer. Yep. I'm going out, I think before Saturday, Hannaford's got their chicken sales for, I think it's under $1 a pound for chicken, under. We'll pick up some chickens. We got 4 turkeys in the freezer already. Half a cow, 4 turkeys. Hot dogs. That's my brother. Hot dog. I told you about him, man. He was North Carolina. Boy, he sounds like he's been living there his whole life. He's a hoot. He is a hoot. Hot dog. How the hell do you spell that? HAUWTDAUGGGG. How dog. Yeah, he's a character. Got my place in Vermont all buttoned up. Maybe I'll go check it out this weekend. I don't know. I try to get there once a month. Collect any mail. Not much gets in there. Judy, howdy y'all. Hey Judy, what the hell? What the hell? Coming in late like that. Come bursting through the doors. Doors go. Yeehaw! Shooting up the ceiling. Judy, settle down. Oh, well, at least she made it. At least she made it. She made it. Yeah, I figured what I can do for like some of my recording. I'm like, man, I can't do a whole lot because all of my workings is on this side of the desk and all of my instruments and other stuff is on the other side of the studio. It's like, well, hell, I can just take at least one of the monitors and I can flip it around and take the keyboard and mouse and throw it on the other side, and I can access it from the other side because I don't need to touch the computer or anything. It's like, oh, well, I think that'll work, so I'm going to play with that. Judy says, I had to work late. You had to work late? You bad girl. Bad girl. Well, welcome anyways. You missed all the good stuff, the ranting and raving. Cowboy's ranting again. Boy, I used to put out some rants. They're all justified. You just say what everybody else is thinking. Damn it. Says, thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. But, yeah, hey, we're in the second week of January. Remember, the dulcimer should be ready by February-ish, sometime in there. So I'm like, oh boy. Keep waiting. Oh, maybe he's gonna go send me an email. He goes, hey John, your dulcimer's done. It's like, oh please. What I've decided though is I've got it made so it's full MIDI support as well. I'm not getting the MIDI processor right away. Had other bills that are in the way, so I can't spare another $800 change on a MIDI processor to go with it. So I'll just be doing just standard acoustic, the piezo pickups and the magnetic pickups. So I'm still getting a lot of good use out of it. Going to be awesomeness. I'm sorry I have not gotten another dulcimer video up. I'm so excited for the new one. It's like, man, I almost don't want to pick up the old one because the new one is going to sound light years better. There's issues with the old one, but so I can finally retire that one. I was like, oh. I'd like to get a battery operated amp that I can go busking with, because I don't think anybody has seen anyone busk with a dulcimer out there someplace. Busking is performing out in public. Judy says it's going to be awesome. I can hardly wait. Yeah, me too. It's going to be beautiful. But back to the amp, I don't have minimum of 2 and change hundred. The nice one's about 400. It's like, no, I don't have that. It's like, I have it. I can't justify it because it'd be cutting into heat and oil money and stuff. So it's like, no, I can't do that. So if I had $400 extra, I'd be getting the other amp, and then I'd have something to go busking with. I already got a little red wagon. I could put my amp and my dulcimer and my folding stool and my food, put it in the back of Zippy. Now, I'd put the wagon in, and then I'd put the other stuff in. Then I'd take the wagon out, and I'd take the other stuff. I wouldn't put it in all together. And I'd go like down to Concord or something like that, and find a nice corner, nice courtyard someplace, and play away. Ain't never seen nobody with a mountain dulcimer out there. Certainly not a Rolls Royce like that. So who knows? Maybe by summer when the weather gets warmer, maybe I'll be able to scratch up enough to get something like that. I already told folks I guarantee I can make more in a day out busking than I can, all month. Otherwise. And that's sad. Isn't that sad? That's just sad. Judy says, I bet you'd get a good crowd. Yeah, maybe not. I know I'd look different. I do look different. It's like, you see that cowboy playing that weird instrument over there? Yeah. But, yeah, I'm pretty sure I could make more busking than I do for all of my social media stuff. And that's a shame. That's a shame. I can't wait to get out on the water again. Oh, man, itching to go canoeing. Oh, yeah. I got to do some pre-season videos. I'll do my canoeing gear so folks can see what I use. Different paddles. I said I got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, bring 4 paddles with me whenever I go canoeing. Are you still knee-deep in snow? No, it rained. It rained all last night. Most of it's gone, except for where there was little snowbanks. And most of my lawn's green still. I still got green grass underneath the snow still, believe it or not. Yeah. We started out, we had like 10 inches plus. 10 plus the last snowstorm. And then last night started out early evening until probably about 10 or so with snow. And I got about 4 inches. And then from then it just turned to rain. And it rained all night. And took away most all the snow. Yeah. I'd popped all the snow off the girls' run so it wouldn't get heavy. So that wasn't a problem. The run's been working great. I get out there. See, we're home all the time. So go out every few hours when it's snowing heavy. And you just go inside the coop and you just pop the underside of the coop, because it's the tarps or the roof. Yeah, snow just pops right off. Girls didn't like it too much last night when I did it because they were ready for bed. They were sitting on the roost. It's the same one. They still roost outside at night. They don't go inside the coop. They spend some time in the daytime sometimes in there, but at least every night when we go to bed, they're out on their you've seen the roost. They look like benches. And they're out on the bench that's closest to the house. And that's where they like to roost at night. But yeah, I've been sampling. I've been getting some. Been looking at backing tracks. You folks probably know what those are. Folks don't know what they are. It's musical tracks that have the drums and other guitars and other instruments in it, but they're missing any leads. And then you play the backing track, and then you play your lead over it. So I've been looking at some backing tracks, and it's like, oh man, it'd be really cool if I could get some nice blues songs and some country and some classic rock type songs with the backing tracks with the dulcimer. That'd be pretty cool. So I got things planned. I've just been busy. Been busy. But yeah, it's like, I'm going to have just plain songs that I play. That's fine. But having it with backing tracks, that's going to be the shit. That's going to be the shit. There's only a couple out there. There's only a couple dulcimer players out there that are running that type of demonstration. And they're way better than me. I'm not good. I can't play the guitar worth of shit, and I can't play the dulcimer worth of shit. But the missus argues to the contrary. But, do something a little different. So, yeah, that'd be pretty cool, if I had a busking amp. And what they are, they're just an amp that you put batteries in so that when you're out, you don't need to do it. Judy says, you sound very good to me. Oh, thank you. I'm actually better than the videos that people have seen. There's something about starting to play, and I know I'm recording myself. It's just like, shit. It's fuck. I messed up again. Oh fuck, I messed up again. Yeah, my timing gets off, and I think it's just self-conscious. Kind of like the normal person if they're not used to. I'm used to this. I'm used to talking on camera now. When I first started, I couldn't talk. Another thing you'll see is I don't You may not have noticed that. Now you will. I don't have those fillers. I did when I first started recording myself, when I was first doing podcasts, and that was just recording. That wasn't even live. Now live is not a problem. No ums, nahs. Just stop talking. People are not comfortable with their silence. You'll hear me if I get flustered and I'll just stop talking. Okay, and I'll figure it out. So I guess playing the instruments probably be much the same. The more I record myself doing it, the less trepidatious I feel, and the more natural and smooth I'll be. But yeah, I try to get those backing tracks and then do what they call it noodling. Noodling is playing music, but you're not really playing any particular song. It sounds good. It's a song. It's a melody. You're doing it, but it's not a song. I do a lot of noodling. Now I do play songs. But like I said, I'm a melody player. I don't play complex. So backing tracks is going to be really good because I don't have to worry about the extra notes. But it's going to be super fun with the new dulcimer. Dulcimer. Yep. Let me see. I'm going to check my mail. Okay, that's not it. It's a notification that I'm live. Of course I am. Rumble notification, no. So, no. I got no notification that the dulcimer is ready. Judy says, I think it'll be great. I have been waiting to hear it in a country song. I just can't believe people don't use them anymore. Donna says, noodling. Here is a way to catch catfish. Yeah, yeah. And so you just stick your hand in the hole and they bite on it and you pull it out. Yeah. Yeah, the dulcimer's actually seen a resurgence. There's more dulcimers out there now than ever in human history. In the golden age of dulcimer, there really wasn't anybody playing on them either. There was just a few people. Oh. So now we've got a lot more, and like you've seen, Judy, once you start looking for the videos on YouTube, you'll get them. You'll get them in your feed. So there's more people than what you'd think. But the thing is the dulcimer is really a solo instrument. It's being used now in group settings, but it's really a solo instrument. It was generally played one dulcimer at a time in a quiet room. And that's because they're not very loud. It's not like a banjo. It uses banjo strings, but it's not like a banjo. It doesn't have a resonating board or anything like that. There's ways that they can get more volume out of it and stuff like that. But now you've got electronics. Mine's, like I said, this one that's coming to me is just, it's coming to me. Will come to me. I'm buying it. But yeah, the one that's being made for me it's got the electronics. That type of environment, and also microphones. If you're running the dulcimer in through a PA system, they can turn up the volume of the dulcimer so that it's coming through the PAs at a volume that matches the guitars or banjos or what have you. But if you don't have that, it just gets lost. It does not make enough noise. It's pretty. It doesn't make enough noise. It's great when you're sitting in a small room, crackling fire or what have you, and you're just sitting there relaxing and you're just playing a tune. And again, even with the dulcimer, I play melodies. I do not generally play with, fast strumming and stuff like that. I play slower melodies and feeling and stuff like that. That's just my style. So, but yeah, it's got a resurgence. It's got a resurgence, but still not. Even with the resurgence, it's still not a known instrument. So hopefully I can help change that. And again, if I was able to go out busking with it, that'd be another group of people that had never heard of it before, or never seen one in real life. But we'll see how that goes. About $400 gets me what most buskers really like. I can do it for about $2, where I'd be at least confident in the quality of the amp. I can do it for about $220. But it's like $400 for the right one to start out with, but whatever. Laurel says, music that is good for the soul. Yeah. My playing, my guitar and dulcimer playing is much like my whiskey drinking. It's slow. I savor the flavor. I'm not doing shots. I'm not down in a bunch of stuff. I'm drawing it out and enjoying every note and every drop. So that's what I do. And yes, it is good for the soul. And we as humans, we're a musical creature. We're not the only one. There's other creatures that produce music as well. Not just singing. There's other creatures that actually produce. Usually it's through like more drum stuff. They have beats and stuff. But humans music truly touches the soul. So I used to take my guitar down by the lake. I'd play. And I don't play loud. I don't play, complex. And I'd get sometimes people, I can't hear you. You need to play louder. It's like, I'm not here for you. I'm not here for you. If you hear it, fine. Right, here we go. Oh boy, that one was building. Excuse me. Yeah, sneeze got me. No, so even when I'm in home, I don't play loud. And even when I'm playing the electric guitar, I don't play extremely loud. I play just loud enough where I'm not hearing my own strings when I'm playing. and the amp starts to do what it's supposed to do. That's as loud as I play. Judy says, no, that would be beautiful. By the lake with a fire. Yes. Now, I never had a fire by the lake, but I'd go down by the lake, me and the missus. I'd take my guitar. And she'd sit there in her chair. We'd watch the boats. They'd be doing their things. I'd play my guitar, bring my stool, or sit at a bench if picnic, if they have picnic benches or just a regular bench. So anything that doesn't have arms. And I'd sit there and we'd play. Enjoy the weather. It's nice. I'm not playing loud, just loud enough for just whatever and whoever is within, 10 feet. It would be cool to be able to do that with the dulcimer too. That's an even smaller circle. But again, if I had the amp, then that would allow me to do the electric and stuff like that. Either piezo, which sounds just like a pretty much, not exactly, like an acoustic. They're with crystals and stuff. And the electric sounds like an electric guitar, so you can make the dulcimer would sound like I got a little electric guitar there. So either or, and you could use both of them through the amp. So yeah, it's 400. About 400 will get me. I can 220. Off-brand. There's an off. It's not really off-brand, but it's not the go-to. It's kind of a knockoff of the go-to. I'd rather have the go-to. It's a Boss Street. What the hell is that? Boss Street. Let's go here. Get up here. Let's go here. I'll get you the name of it here. I'll show you. What is it? Okay, this is the, this is a Roland Cube Street EX40. No, so it would be Roland Street. Not Boss. Boss Cube. That's not it. The EX is bigger, and that's $600. It's like, yeah, I couldn't justify that. Now, where's the other one? Well, that's not pulling. I can't find it. I was looking at it the other. Okay, this is the Boss. This is sort of, I'll bring it up for you. This is sort of the one. This one's 309. Oh, great. Now you're not going to come up. Well, we're going to find it. Watch this. Internet. There we go. I had to bounce back and forth. There you go. This is a 309 for this one. It allows you to do a bunch of stuff. And you got the Roland's got another one that looks about like this. It's a Street Cube ES. This is this is awesome. But this is $600. Like, no. And you go, hey, it looks just like the other one. Yeah. Yep. It does. Excuse me. It's a wattage difference and some other features difference. But Roland had one. It should have been about $400. Where is it? Cool Music. Here's one. This was the but this is $300 for this one. See, it looks almost the same as the other ones. Has a lot of the same features. But this is the off-brands. See, it looks just like the other one, but it's not either a Boss or a Roland. And this one sounds pretty good. And this one's $300. They have one that's the 40. Where's the 40 one? Here we go. $209. Here is the 40 for $209. That looks loud. It looks loud. No, not really. I mean, it's loud enough for busking, but it's not. It's not like my amps that I have here. This is about the least. This is the least one that I would go for. Is the this is the Cool Music BP40D. And these are okay. The only difference between this. One of the things, this you have to charge the batteries internally and you charge it, and that's fine. Where the Roland and the Bosses have battery packs, and those battery packs are made out of 6 and 8 AA batteries. So what that does is, if this one that I have up right now, if it runs out of juice, you have to recharge it. If the other one runs out of juice and you have 6 or 8 of the AA's already charged with you, you just replace them and continue on. So that's why the other ones are just fine. But this amp that's right here should be enough to play 6 to 8 hours straight. And if I was out busking, I'm not going to be playing more than that. I'd have it turned off, whatever. But yeah, this is the least. Now the granddaddy would be, of course, the where do I go here? Where the heck did you go there? Yeah, the Roland Cube Street EX4 50 watt. That one is loud, by the way. This one is loud. But looks about the same. But the other one, again, 209. But I just can't. I can't justify that. Yeah, this one's. Oh, this is the small one. Yeah, this was only 309, but the other one I was talking about. Here we go. Yeah, this is the big boy right here. Yeah, this is $600. 50 watt. What was the other one? The other one's the Street 10 watt. I mean, that'd be fine too. And that's 10 watt. What was the how many watts is this one? This one is 80 watts for 209. Much louder. Much more affordable. $100 cheaper. But the quality isn't quite as good as the other one. But again, acceptable. This is my base minimum right here. So, yep. And it puts in the batteries, and you can take it anywhere. I could take my acoustic and plug it in. I could take the dulcimer. Probably more often use the dulcimer with it, but But you can even plug an electric guitar in, and they work just fine. So that's other things I got. I've been considering. And the amp is, that type of amp is cheaper than getting the MIDI. The MIDI is $800 or more for the MIDI processor. So I could probably justify myself and go, well, I'm underpriced on the dulcimer. Get the busking amp. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, we've been hit financially too. So yeah, we'll see. I got time to figure it out. Judy says, pretty dang cool. It is cool. It is. They are really cool. Those battery-operated amps are pretty damn cool. And that's what they use for busking. Although, to be fair, a lot of the guys, especially in Concord, they're not running amps. They're just out with guitars or whatever they're using. But in the major cities, they usually use those types of amps. You can put them up on stands and stuff, and I'd probably just put it down on the ground by my feet. And they're angled back. So they project the sound, so that's pretty cool. And just plug it in, put the jack in the dulcimer and down into the amp, and there you go. Again, find a nice courtyard someplace. Eat my lunch early or eat my lunch late so that when people are out on lunchtime, they can hear the playing and they can eat their lunch. They can eat their lunch. But yeah, been thinking about that. Been thinking. We'll see. Well, folks, it is going on 10 after 10. Not quite. 10:08. Judy says, nobody does that here in my little town. Wish they would. Yeah, well, see, not a lot of opportunity for making money. They'd have to do it just to enjoy doing it. Most buskers, they expect to get paid. So Peggy says, they all look great, and I know that you will pick the right one. Having said that, I'm really tired and from clearing snow from around the house today. Good night, all, and thank you, John. You're welcome, Peggy. Thank you for joining the show. Yeah, I'll have to mull over which one. Like I said, I know which one I want, and I know which one is the base. This is it. The last one that I showed you, it's 209. That's the minimum. They have ones for 100 or just over 100, and I just don't think they're going to be loud enough. They're fine for if you're just in a little room someplace, but if you're out and about, you need something that's a little bit more powerful. So I'm looking at, again, between $200 to $400 price range is good enough for what I need it to do. But again, thank you for showing up, joining the show, Peggy. Thank you, everybody, for joining the show. I'll let folks know what I decide, whether I'm going to do it or not, whether we can fit it in before spring, or we'll figure shit out. I ain't going to be sitting out in the cold right now, anyways. Except the only thing is, if I get it sooner, then I can get it dialed in. But it's not an issue. I'll be using my my Fender acoustic amp, which is nice. I think it's a nice one. I got that for here and recording. Of course, I don't know why. Oh, I know why I did it, because I can plug it in. I don't have to use batteries all the time. I wasn't thinking I was going to be using it out in the wild. So that's why I didn't get a busking amp. Otherwise, I would have got a busking amp, because it's a nice amp too. But no. But okay. Thank you all for joining the show. Started out slow. I was about ready to shut down. People weren't here. Everybody that showed up, thank you very much. Anyone who is watching this show maybe later and you want to help contribute to the cause, there are links underneath the description. It's not underneath the description. They're in the description underneath the show. And next show is Sunday evening. Same time, same place. Laurel, Judy, Peggy, Donna, Gus, if you're still hiding out there. If you were hiding, I have no idea. Everybody else, Judy says, thank you, Cowboy. Good night. Good night, all. I will see you on Facebook. Again, I'm still cranking out content there. And next show. God bless and take care.